In a small village nestled by a deep, green forest, lived a young girl named Bodu. Her heart was heavy, for her father lay sick in their cottage, and no remedy seemed to help. Determined to save him, she ventured into the woods, her small bag ready to be filled with hope. She gathered berries, leaves, and roots, whispering prayers with each find. "Perhaps this violet leaf will work," she murmured, carefully placing it inside. As she delved deeper, she saw an old woman leaning against a tree, struggling to walk without a cane. Without a second thought, Bodu scrambled over a pile of mossy rocks, found a sturdy fallen branch, and quickly sharpened one end against a smooth stone. "Here," she said, offering it to the woman. "This will help you walk more safely." The old woman's eyes, crinkled with age, smiled warmly. "Thank you, dear child. But why would you stop to help a stranger when you seem to be in such a hurry?" Bodu's shoulders slumped a little. "My father is very ill," she explained. "But he taught me that anyone who is old or suffering deserves our help." The woman's eyes sparkled with a strange light. She reached into her cloak and pulled out a small, intricately carved wooden box. "Take this," she said, her voice soft but firm. "It is a magic box. Inside, you will always find healing food. But you must heed this warning. Share its contents only with those who are truly in need. If you share it out of greed or carelessness, its magic will vanish forever." Unseen, hidden behind a thick oak tree, a greedy merchant had been watching. His eyes widened. "A magic box with endless food," he muttered to himself. "If I could get my hands on that, I'd be the richest man in the kingdom." He began to scheme, rubbing his hands together with avarice. Bodu, unaware of the lurking danger, clutched the box. With a heart full of gratitude, she whispered, "Thank you," and lifted the lid. Sighed. She found a warm loaf of bread, a flask of clear, cool water, and a handful of rich, brown walnuts. This was more than enough. She thanked the woman again and continued her journey home, her steps now lighter with hope. She hadn't gone far when the merchant stepped out from the shadows, blocking her path. Well, what have we here?" he said, his voice slick as oil. "A pretty little box. I'll give you a bag of gold for it. What do you say?" Bodu hugged the box tighter. "I'm sorry, sir, but this box isn't for sale." The merchant scoffed. "Everything has a price. Little girl, name yours." Bodu shook her head firmly. "No, it's meant only for those in need, and I will not part with it." She sidestepped him and hurried on, leaving him fuming in the middle of the path. As she walked, she heard a faint, weak bleating. Peeking through some bushes, she saw a goat, so thin its ribs pressed against its skin. It chewed weakly on a dry patch of grass. Its eyes were sad and hungry. Bodu's heart ached for the poor creature. She immediately opened the magic box and took out the warm bread. "Here, little one," she said gently, breaking off a piece. "You need this more than I do. Eat up, the box is endless." The goat bleated gratefully and began to gobble down the bread, its tail wagging for the first time in days. Continuing on, Bodu passed a withered cocoa tree. Its leaves were brown and curled, its branches drooping as if in despair. The ground around it was cracked and dry. "Oh, you poor thing," she whispered, feeling its thirst. She opened the box again, took out the flask of water, and poured the life-giving liquid onto the tree's parched roots. The dry earth drank it in eagerly. Almost instantly, a shimmer of life ran through the tree. Its leaves began to unfurl, turning a vibrant green, and tiny buds started to appear on its branches. The long walk was beginning to take its toll on Bodu. Her legs felt heavy, and her energy was waning. Just then, she heard the sound of hooves. It was the merchant again, but this time he was disguised as a palace guard, sitting atop a fine horse. "You look tired, young lady," he called out in a booming official voice. "Allow me to escort you home. Just climb up behind me." Bodu was about to accept when she recognized the greedy glint in his eyes. "But, as a small tip for my service," he added, gesturing toward the box, "I'll take that little trinket you're carrying." "It's you again," she cried, jumping back. "I will never ever give this box to a greedy person like you." Without another word, she turned and ran, her heart pounding with fear and indignation. Her own stomach began to rumble with hunger. She was so tired and weak, she reached for the box, thinking of the walnuts inside. As she was about to open it, she saw a family of squirrels chittering anxiously on a branch above. Their nest was empty, and they looked frantic and hungry. Bodu paused. She looked at the squirrels, then at her own tired reflection in a puddle. I can wait a little longer, she thought. They need this food more than I do right now. She smiled, placed the walnuts at the base of the tree, and watched as the grateful squirrels scurried down to carry their feast home. Their happy chatter was all the reward she needed. At last, exhausted but resolute, she arrived at her cottage. "Daddy, I'm home," she called, rushing to his bedside. "Look what I have. This magic box will heal you." Her father smiled weakly at her. With trembling hands, Bodu lifted the lid of the box, expecting to find the healing food. But it was empty, utterly empty. Her heart shattered. A cold dread washed over her. "No, it can't be," she stammered, tears welling in her eyes. "Why is it empty? I followed the rule. I only shared with those who were truly in need." She collapsed by her father's bed, sobbing. Had she failed? Just then, there was a gentle knock at the door. Bodu wiped her tears and opened it. To her amazement, there stood the old woman, her smile as warm as ever. Beside her was the goat, now healthy and strong, carrying a pouch of fresh milk. The family of squirrels was there too, chattering as they offered a pile of the finest nuts. And behind them, she could see branches from the cocoa tree, laden with ripe, fragrant pods. "You did well, my child," the old woman said softly. "You gave freely and with a pure heart, not expecting anything in return. And because you gave with such kindness, now others have come to give back to you." With renewed hope, Bodu took the gifts. She ground the cocoa pods and walnuts, mixed them with the rich goat's milk, and created a nourishing, fragrant drink. Shu gently helped her father sit up and sip the warm liquid. As he drank, color returned to his cheeks, and a new strength flowed into his limbs. "Thank you, my dear kind-hearted daughter," he said, his voice strong again. "Your kindness has saved me." Bodu smiled, her heart overflowing with joy. She realized she didn't need the magic box anymore. She set it on a nearby table. Its purpose served. Just then, the cottage door burst open, and the greedy merchant lunged for the box. "Finally, the magic box is mine," he cackled, snatching it up. "Now I will be rich beyond my wildest dreams." He ripped open the lid, expecting to find endless treasure, but all he found was emptiness. From inside, Bodu and her father watched him, and a soft, knowing laugh escaped her lips. The merchant stood there, baffled and defeated, clutching a worthless wooden box. Bodu now understood the truth. The real magic was never in the box itself. The real magic was in kindness, in the simple act of helping others, and in the boundless generosity of a loving heart. Thank you so much for watching. We hope this story reminded you of the magic we all carry inside us. If you enjoyed it, please give us a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more heartwarming stories. See you next time.